Newton Crouch Incorporated presents technical tips.
Okay, to do a split chain on a body, you would have to start with the short chain first, and it goes together in the front. Good to look back here at the back and confirm that the rear rolls will be turning against the straight pins and not the link itself. Okay, after the first short roll chain has been installed, then we can move to the longer chain. Okay, now I have to go to the back to pull the chain from the back. Okay, as you can see, the front flap is facing towards the back. Is the reason why I had to pull the chain from the front to the back on the top side. If you try to pull it from the back to the front on the top side, the bed chain will catch up on the front flap and try to pull it in the other direction. The front flap is installed from the inside facing backwards so that the product will not fall out the front. I put these clamps on the lower part of the bed chain to keep it from falling through underneath. I put these locking pliers on this front shaft roll to keep it from turning as I pull the chain from the bottom. Once I tighten this nut down on this splice pin, I will cut that off and I will tack weld the end of it to keep it from coming off. Okay, I am installing these locking vice grip pliers to hold my splice pin to keep it from turning as I tighten down on the nut. Okay, on these split chains, you have to splice them together at the front. For the reason is this got this center divider. You can't get in here to weld the nut on to the splice pin. Chains linked together like this, spliced together. Now I can move on to tightening up the take-up bolts. It will tighten both of them simultaneously. Okay, what the take-up bolt does, it runs the front roll out to tighten up the tension on the bed chain from underneath. to know when you got your bed chain tight enough is to look underneath it and observe the sag in the bed chain. It's not good to get them too extremely tight as long as they get some bounce to them without sagging. Right there I'm at 4 3/4 and the other side should be symmetrical. Roughly, I'm going to back it off to 5 1/4 and run the other side up to 5 1/4 to even it up. I can adjust this one here, the longer chain, I can adjust it by these bigger bolts that's in between the bearings here. Get the rear roll, the short chain roll, once I get it adjusted, I will move on to the front one and measure off of it to this one, and I can adjust the distance on it to get the chain tension right with these larger bolts in between the bearings. About 5 inches. Roll out to 5 inches, and I'm going to go to the other side and repeat the same process. Okay, on this side I'm at 5 1/2. I need to back it off to 5 inches, and then check my chain tension once more. Is checking my chain tension. There again, you want some bounce to it, but you don't want it too extremely tight, but at the same time you don't want it loose. And if you'll notice the two chains under there, they should be sagging about the same. In other words, you don't want one pulled tighter than the other one. This chain tension right, I want to check my second one to see if it's relatively the same from one side to the other. I'm pulling from the short chain shaft to the long chain shaft. Right now it's showing 6 3/4 on this side, and I will compare it to the other side. And as you can see, I'm a little short of 6 3/4 on this side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tighten this bolt here up, and it's going to move this front roll away from the rear roll or the second roll, and it's going to bring it out to 6 3/4. And when making adjustments with this bigger bolt between the two bearings, please take caution of the grease dirt on the inner bearing and not to break it off with your wrench. Okay, the thing I'm doing now is I'm holding the bolt still. I'm just turning this nut here to push the bearing away from the other one. And that will give me my distance I need here. 6 3/4. Okay, let's check the other side. 6 3/4 from this shaft to this shaft. Once you get through with one side, go to the other side to make sure that it is tightened down as well. And always measure twice. As you can see, I'm at 6 3/4, the same as the other. For one last confirmed measurement, I will butt it to the rib and confirm that it is 5 inches to the inside roll, 11 3/4 to the outside roll. And as you can see, I am measuring the opposite side. From the rib to the first roll is 5 inches, and to the second roll is 11 3/4. After you get through locking these down, you want to check underneath to make sure your bed chain tension is correct. As you can see, the chains are evenly sagged at the bottom. And like I said, you just want a little bounce to them without them sagging. One thing we got to do to complete this process is to make sure we tighten our lock nuts down on our take-up bolt.
We hope this video has answered your questions. Technical assistance is available 24/7 on our YouTube channel or our website, www.newtoncrouch.com. Call us at 800-241-1350. A real person will answer the phone. No recorded menus. Our knowledgeable staff will be glad to help you. Proudly made in America, a family-owned business since 1940, Newton Crouch.